This is going to be an introductory course into Congressman Adam Kinzinger. By the time we're done, you're going to know why FreedomWorks gives him a 51% rating. You'll know why the Heritage Foundation gives him a 39% rating, and why he scores a whopping 33% at Conservative Review. You'll also understand why Mark Levin will, in the middle of his show, drop what he's doing and start going into Adam Kinzinger at the drop of a hat.
Adam Kinzinger, Air Force vet, 2010 Tea Party candidate, Tea Party Republican primary candidate. The Tea Party went full bore to get this man elected. No sooner did he get elected, he dove right into the cesspool that is Washington. And now he's all over TV because he got a great column by the detestable radical leftist Dana Milbank in the Washington Compost, praising him for attacking Ted Cruz, praising him for standing up to Mark Levin and Glenn Beck, praising him because he's taking that RINO tag, baby, and he's saying, challenge me. He's telling the Tea Party in his district, go for it. I detest people like this guy. Not for his military service, of course, but for his deceit as a politician. Then he was on one or two of the Sunday shows. Then he's on cable TV. The man's made a name for himself. or whatever the hell his name is, Kinzinger. Not because he stood up on principle, not because he stared down the President of the United States when he's wrong, but because he's a sellout. And they want to, promote him. Look at this. We're going to give him positive media inside the Beltway. We're going to give him cover. He also doesn't support, quote-unquote, defunding Obamacare. Down the line, the guy. He's now Cantor's lapdog. Cantor backed him in a primary against a real conservative last time around, and he won. So now he's cocky, you see. Now the people who sent him to Washington in the first place, who fought for him and muscled through the primary process to support him, out of nowhere, now he detests them. He detests the conservative base, just as Boehner does. You want to know who one of the most disingenuous members of the House of Representatives is? He's a Republican by the name of Adam Kinzinger. He's on Fox all the time, particularly Greta Van, what's her name? And Kinzinger ran as a full-throated Tea Party conservative. Now he is a full-throated, complete sellout. He's a RINO. He's actually endorsed Jeb Bush. This is what you're sick of, people who are dishonest in order to get elected.
The reason why Adam Kinzinger isn't liked in this district by anybody on the right, the left, or in between is legion. Let's start on pocketbook issues. Adam Kinzinger is okay with raising your taxes via the federal gas tax. If you are a proponent of the fair tax, Adam Kinzinger is opposed. If you like the flat tax, Adam Kinzinger opposes that too. So, good luck ever getting any kind of tax reform out of him. If your issue on the right is immigration, Adam Kinzinger is one of the biggest supporters of amnesty in the House of Representatives there is. When it comes to Obamacare, Adam Kinzinger will not defund it. Adam Kinzinger will not vote to outright repeal it. If you're on the left, Adam Kinzinger gets all of his campaign funds from the big corporations and interest and special interest inside of Washington, D.C. If you're a Trump fan, it's obvious Adam Kinzinger does not like the president one bit. If you're of the social issue kind, you need to know that Adam Kinzinger does not like any effort to undo Justice Kennedy's nationalization of same-sex marriage. On the flip side, he is also very good when it comes to pro-life issues. Let's see. As we all know, Adam Kinzinger appears a lot on cable television. When Adam has taken these multiple TV appearances on Fox and CNN and NBC, he has repeatedly attacked by name Texas Senator Ted Cruz, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, the House Freedom Caucus. He has called out by name the Heritage Foundation, the Club for Growth, and Freedom Works. He has attacked conservative talk radio. He has attacked conservative websites that have ran stories critical of him. And he says that all of this negative criticism of him is because those of us criticizing him want to fundraise off of it.
But you're right, these are talk show hosts and pundits who anger the base to hook an audience and sell ad space, scream louder, get angrier, call people names, and the checks roll in. And you also referenced think tanks. You didn't mention the Heritage, but think tanks like that keep scorecards on legislators and stuff. Who's the target here?
Well, the target's the Purity for Profit gang. I mean, look at...
who are they?
Okay, so, for instance, let me point out Freedom Works. So, Freedom Works, for instance, wanted us to shut down the federal government in 2013. The federal government shut down. During the federal government shutdown, Freedom Works was trying to raise money based on, we're going to keep the Republican Party pure. They're not pure enough. Send us $20, $25. Look, we all do fundraising, but in some cases, look, there's a lot of good groups. There's a lot of good talk show hosts like you, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on your show. I wouldn't do your show if I thought you guys were Purity for Profit people. But there are there are people that exist simply because they need to raise money, and they do it by creating problems, not solutions. You know, let me give a quick example. Heritage Action, not Heritage Foundation, two different groups. Heritage Action said that we needed to split the farm bill from actual farm programs and then food stamps because they're combined. We split the farm bill. Then they opposed it anyway. I mean, it's that kind of stuff that's frustrating. It's inside baseball, but it's time that I think some people have to come out and be honest about what's going on.
I never got one penny for all of my criticism of Congressman Kinzinger. And trust me, as the blogger for the 16th District, I was responsible for every single negative story about him up until about a year ago. Now, we've got some of the candidates here that are going to be running against Adam here coming up in the primary and in the fall. I got some advice for you guys. If you are going to beat Adam Kinzinger, you have to realize he has $1.6 million in the bank. You are going to have to find money, preferably from the people of this district, because they don't give him any. You also have to realize that the easiest and best way to get rid of Congressman Kinzinger is in the Republican primary. Michael Madigan set that up when he drew the congressional maps. That is just fact of life. Another thing you're going to have to realize, he will get on Fox, he will get on CNN, he will get on MSNBC, and you won't. Now, you will be able to get on talk radio shows like Mark Levin, where he won't, obviously. When it comes to policy, if you're going to beat Adam Kinzinger, if you're going to beat him from the right, you have to attack him every day for his support on amnesty. If you're coming at him from the left, you can hit him every day on Obamacare, because he has taken every position under the sun. And for anybody in between, his criticisms of President Trump, the fact that he has horrible constituent services, the fact that no one likes him, makes this the year to get rid of him. And I wish all of you who are trying and who may try the best of luck. Have at it, John.
Thank you.
And here I'm looking at 42 Republicans in the House of Representatives who voted with the Democrats. Heritage Action calls them the Pelosi 42. You know what they voted for? Despite massive debt, despite saying they oppose corporate welfare, despite saying they're conservatives, 42 of them, they voted to breathe life back into the Export-Import Bank. And all you really need to know about that is you spend tens of billions of your hard-earned dollars to subsidize Boeing and other massive multi-billion-dollar corporations that do not need your subsidies. And if we can't cut this, we can't cut anything. Is anybody going to condemn these 42? No. But they will condemn the Freedom Caucus, like this guy Adam Kinzinger from Illinois, ran as a hard-line Tea Party conservative and immediately abandoned them.
Look, Adam Kinzinger and I got elected both in 2010. We went to Washington together, and within a day we all called him Boehner's boy, because he was John Boehner's boy. He does whatever leadership in the establishment tell him to do. I have no doubt, Ulysses, that leadership in the establishment have told him, go after the Freedom Caucus, go after the conservatives, and he's doing their dirty work for him. Look, Adam's one of these almost frauds who got elected saying he's a Tea Party conservative. From the moment he's been there, he has not governed like one. He's an establishment RINO Republican, and it amazes me that this district, we're in this district right now, such a conservative, America-loving, freedom-loving district, has a guy like that representing them in Washington. It's just an absolute shame. But Republicans, I think congressmen like Adam Kinzinger, they're doing what the chamber and the establishment and, truthfully, Republican leadership in Washington is telling them to do. I'm sure Adam's under orders to say this. Go after conservatives because they're trying to fight back. They don't want people like Joe Walsh or Ted Cruz in Washington. So you got a congressman in this district. Not only is he supportive of amnesty, he's their biggest cheerleader. I got to believe if I traveled this district and talked to working class, legal Americans, white, black, brown, Republican, Democrat, Independent, they'd have a problem with that. With little Adam caring more about people coming into this country illegally.